Shalom, Ahab, Wa Baraka. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Wa Harakam, Kodash. And double honor to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers over at GMS that have been bringing out this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years. So, yeah, everybody in my family is sick. Reader's sick. Well, he's getting better. But he was sick. Now my wife's really sick. Now I'm worried about my young kids getting sick. So we're just gonna do an indoor class and keep it at that. So let's start right away. And we're just gonna read the book of Thessalonians, and we're gonna go to chapter 5. And we're gonna read down through verses pretty much like 22, I think. We'll see. Something like that. But first things first, we're gonna go to 1 Thessalonians and chapter 5. We're gonna start from the top. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay? So that takes us to Matthew chapter 24. And let's jump right over to it, go to verse 43 and start reading. But now this, that if the good man of the house had known what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. So he's saying, you guys know good and well, you don't know when the Most High is coming. You know that. You don't know when he's going to send me back. I don't know when he's going to send me back. So it's telling you that. So why am I bringing out Matthew 24 and 43? The good man of the house, that's you. You're the good man of the house. Your house, your people, your children, your wife, your parents, grandparents, whoever hears the word and receives it, you know? So if you knew when everything was going to hit the fan, then you would be sitting there on your front porch waiting, is what this is saying. So he's saying, why not just be prepared anyway? Every day be on your front porch waiting. You don't know when he's going to show up. The signs and the seasons are telling you when it might be, but you don't know when. So if you did know when, you'd be out on the front porch waiting. So the whole point is you need to make it like every day he might show up and be out there on the front porch waiting. Okay? So and you know what? I'm looking to see if there's let's just leave it at that. I think that makes the point right there. Let's go ahead and go to verse 3. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail come upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. So when they're saying that everything's going to be all right, you're going to be okay, but we're going to take away EBT. So nobody's going to have so-called food stamps. So anybody that's in dire straits, we're gonna paint this picture that anybody that's on food stamps is some crazy black woman running around spending $500-600 at the store all at once, making a video about it with her man with her. That's not even real. They're painting that picture for you so you have something to look at, so you can hate something. So they're going to tell you peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them. Now remember, in the name of democracy, in the name of whatever they were calling it, they definitely wanted to take that away, right? In the name of peace and safety. And it says sudden destruction upon them. Well, it turns out that the highest percentage of people that are actually receiving the EBT or so-called food stamps would be the MAGA group. Believe it or not, the Edomites. The Edomites are getting the most food stamps, probably on both sides. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, you guys have the highest percentage. So that destruction directly came upon you. It's like when you put out a snare or a trap and you get caught up in it on your own. But Daniel 8:25 says the same thing. So let's get that real quick, and then we'll go back to it. So I just want to get this quick precept. And yeah, it was weighing heavy on my spirit because last weekend we needed to take a break because of the woman bringing people around the corner trying to start a fight. And then this week, everybody in my house is sick. You know, the Most High puts trials and tribulations, but what can I do other than keep doing my best to bring out classes and staying in season as much as possible, right? Be in season, out of season. So always be on this truth, always be meditating on the word. Back to it. Like I said, in Daniel 8:25, it says the same thing. And through his policy, I'm going to cut off your EBT. And through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. But when we go back over to 1 Thessalonians 5:3, it tells you straight up. It tells you straight up that they're the ones that are going to get destroyed. As soon as they say peace and safety, you look at the stats, they're destroying themselves. Every time that they try to do something against the Israelite group, the Edomite group usually ends up dealing with the consequences. Look at remember when they tried to forcefully go door to door in the so-called ghetto and tell people that they needed to what? They needed to get the V Nation, right? But all of the Edomites, they were lined up around the corner to get it. I'm watching Edomites drop left and right with blood clots every day. I get scared for every single person that actually received that. And then you've got very few of the Israelite groups, you know, the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Nation, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, all those people that are here that are brown. Yeah, you know what? They didn't want to do it, and there's a reason for that, because you've pulled this you've done this. It's like, oh, that old gag, you've done this before to us. You've done this before. So we know what's up. And so when I go back over to 1 Thessalonians 3, it says, they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. They're the ones dropping dead. They refuse to take their snake venom, their poison, the snake bite, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And the travail upon a woman with child, you know what that travail is? Pain. They're going to receive pain, mental pain and physical pain. It's going to be spiritually painful, because they're going to find out that, like we've been telling you from the jump, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is the name of the Father and the Son, and they're only dealing with Yashar Allah, which is the name of the children that are going to be saved. That's all there is to it. Let's keep going, though. Let's jump back over into 1 Thessalonians, verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So we're not in darkness, and we're not going to be overtaken in these last days, because we understand, like I said in the beginning, we see the signs and we know the season, but we don't know exactly when he's going to be here. So it's best to be like the guy that is going to be sitting on his porch every night waiting. That's what the whole good man of the house is about. You need to be waiting every day. How do you know when he's going to show up? Well, if you knew when he was going to show up, you'd be waiting for him. If I said Nick's going to be here in 10 minutes, you guys would be at that door in 10 minutes. So since you don't know when the Most High is going to show up, you should have that same anticipation that a person that you really want to see is about to come over, but you should anticipate it at all times. It should always be something you're meditating on. Let's keep going. We're not in darkness that we should be overtaken. That day should overtake you as a thief. So it's not going to sneak up on us. That's why it talks about the 10 virgins. You know, there was 10 virgins with oil and 5 with oil and 5 without, right? So those virgins that had the oil, in other words, the virgins that studied, that had the basic knowledge and wisdom, were able to light their path so they could find their way to the kingdom at the right time. Verse 5, ye are all children of the light. That light is the knowledge and wisdom, understanding, having the Holy Spirit, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. So we're not in darkness. We're not evil, and we're not in darkness when it comes to knowledge. We're not in darkness. We're not evil people, so we're not in that type of darkness. So any way you want to look at it, we're the children of the light. We've been enlightened, and we got the 144,000 with the Spirit to be able to teach the 1/3, the correct doctrine. So when Yahweh Shai shows up, we'll be ready. Very simple stuff. Very simple. Let's get a precept. John chapter 12. Let's go to John chapter 12. We're going to go down to verse 36. We are children of the light, and we're not going to be taken into darkness. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, while you have light, believe in the light, that ye may be children of the light. These things spake Yahweh Shai, and departed, and did hide himself from them. Right now, he's still hidden from us, guys. Don't let the light go. No, embrace the light. Come back to the truth. I'm only talking to the 1/3. I know that 2/3 of Israel are not going to receive this doctrine. They're not going to receive the truth. And anything that they do, they're going to do it grievously. In other words, they're going to be like, oh, God, why do I have to do this? But those aren't the people that are going to make it. They're just not going to make it. That's what the Most High, that's what he's looking for right now. He's sifting. I'm going to sift them. So he's going to separate the wicked from the righteous. And when he's finished with that, he's going to take out these other nations. So you guys are watching the sifting go down right now in real time. That's all there is to it. Let's go back over to the book of Peter. Let's go to the book of Peter real quick. 1 Peter's. We're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 5. And we're going to we're going to get verse 8. It says, you know what, let's start at 7. Cast all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So put all your faith in the Most High, because he's the one that's going to save you in the end. He cares about you. He's your father. And somebody made a joke on, I guess it's like everybody, people don't have to act so foolish though, but he said, and it's true, the fact is that it's true. He said, hold on now, if Yahweh is the father and Yahweh Shai is the son, and we're his children, and he looks all serious and goes, that means he's our brother. I'm just like, well, yeah, but the way they get foolish about it, it's like, I guess that zeal, but not according to knowledge. But he's right. I mean, that's our older brother who's coming to save us. Have you ever, I have an older brother. And I'll tell you what, I'm 6'2", and I'm like one of the shortest, skinniest people in my family. And my older brother is a lot bigger than me. And I remember being young and being like, I mean, to this day, I would name drop my older brother if I had. But not like that. I like to brag about his success in life. But he's like that older brother. You look up to him. You revere him. And yeah, Yahushua is our older brother. If Yahweh is the father, Yahushua is the son, and we're his children. And yes, he's the ruler over us, which is perfect. Because an older brother would always be wise anyway to do certain things that the younger siblings wouldn't have the mindset to do. So anyway. And that's literally like, that's literally what everything I just said right there. Let's go to verse 5 real quick. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. All of ye be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, for Yahweh resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. But there's the in fact, I should have read 4 too. Just making that statement. I'm just gonna go backwards all the way up to the beginning of the chapter. Watch. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Neither be lords over Yahweh's heritage, but be examples to the flock. If you guys can understand that. Don't try to be the rulers over the children of Israel, like the Nathaniels and the Yohanas, just like all these camp leaders that see themselves as rulers. But listen carefully. It says, be examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, there's the older brother I was talking about. You shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. So we're definitely revere our big brother, and he's coming to save us. So if you've ever had to call your big brother, wait till my big brother gets here, and everybody's picking on you. When your big brother shows up and he picks that, and he slams him into the locker, and everybody's like, ooh. Then they know, oh man, nah, man, you don't mess with him, man. His big brother will get you. So that when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, the younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another. So we submit ourselves, but it tells you even as the elder, be an example to the younger. Don't be this proud ruler over him. The chief shepherd's the ruler, and he's not proud. But going back to the class now, cast your care upon him, for he careth for you. But this is what we want to get back to. Be sober and vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, like this whole government system, is a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So you got to remember that to be sober-minded means to not be going off in this basic knowledge and wisdom. You got people telling you everybody can be saved, but that's the same guy that said, if I wanted to get rich and take a bag, I would teach that everybody could be saved. That is literally priest, or whatever his name, Hakah, from Genesis Israelites. He literally said that. And somebody called him out on it because now he's teaching that. So be sober. Don't teach false doctrines. Be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion. So what does he do? How does he seek and devour you? He gets you to teach against the truth. And then while you're teaching against the truth, you're teaching all these other people the same damn thing. Pursuant to Titus chapter 1, verses 10 and 11. I bring it out almost every single class. Almost every single class. And it tells you that this same devil is paying our own people to destroy to subvert whole houses for filthy lucre, right? To destroy our people for dirty money. So be sober-minded, be vigilant, because this devil, he sees that you like money. That's how he's going to destroy you, is through money. And he's going to get you to destroy everybody around you. And the more people you destroy, the more money he makes. So let's get back to it. Let's go to the, let's get the book of Ephesians real quick. I actually wrote this class up a couple days ago, but like I said, everybody got sick, so I kind of just stayed home. So Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And what's that whole armor? That's when you're keeping the instructions that you learned in the book by studying to the best of your ability according to your knowledge, observing the things that you can and can't do at this time, also applying what you can do to your life. Staying studied up. That's the whole, and it tells you in James 1 and 5 that if you depart not away, that it'll be given to you liberally for free. So if you're sincere about this truth, that whole armor, that whole protection is knowing this truth. That's why there's the wise virgins and the foolish virgins. The ones that were wise had the whole armor of the Most High, because he showed them a way out of the situation. He showed them the path back to Yahushua when the time was right. And we haven't fulfilled that prophecy yet either. So, let me keep reading. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, okay? Against powers and against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Watch this. Ephesians 6 and 12. I'm going to read it in the NLT really quick, because you know the NLT just be banging sometimes. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, against the evil spirits in the heavenly places. So, and for the most part, right now, since we've been stripped of a lot of knowledge, I've noticed lately, the heavenly places that these evil rulers are, heaven is rulership, and earth is servitude. So they're in all of the places of rulership, and they're the unseen world. Haven't we heard that there's a shadow government, that there's underground cities that are higher in technology and 10 times nicer than on top, but it's only for the elites? Then don't they have that in Chicago right now? You can look it up. So there, and these are for people, only certain people can actually get into this underground world. So we're not fighting against flesh and blood enemies. No, we're fighting against the rulers and the authorities that are making all of these laws against us, that are being ruled by a whole different shadow government. And that's what goes into that unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, against evil spirits in the heavenly places. That's, we're in some really dark times. If you think about it, we're in some really dark times. So when you go back to it, though, it says, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against all of these evil rulers that are putting out these crazy laws against you in these end times. You're going to be able to see, oh, I can't take that that V Nation, that according to Scripture, you're trying to poison and kill me. According to Scripture, if I become digitally subscribed to this new society that you're talking about, the Most High is going to judge me and I won't be able to go to the kingdom. So they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. So please stay studied up. Let's keep going. Let's go to 1 John. Now, sometimes I get carried away. I get a lot of notes going. I get a lot of notes. But I have to keep going. But I know I was going to make a pretty damn good point on when I wrote the class, but then when I realized everybody was really sick, I needed to just stay home. So let's go to 1 John 5, St. John. Did I put 1 John down? It's St. John. So for all you guys that don't know, there's St. John, and then there's 1 John, 2 John, and 3 John. Okay, so we're going to St. John, chapter 12. And, oh no, it was 1 John, damn it. 1 John 5 and 19, Salakia. I got them too close together. Go check on your mom. She sounded like she was. 1 John 5 and 19. And we know now that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. You know what? Let's go to verse 17. Let's start there. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death, and there is a sin not unto death. We know that whosoever is born of Yahweh sinneth not, but he that is begotten of Yahweh keepeth himself, and that wicked one toucheth him not. And we know that we are of Yahweh, and that the whole world lieth in wickedness. So we know that we're with Yahweh. We're the Most High. We're born. We're not like, you know what? The thing about Israel is Israel actually had to be taught sin. They had to be taught all these wicked things that they were doing. Just like if you were from birth taught only one way to live, that's the way you're going to live no matter what. But we started off in Egypt. So first thing we did was learn the Egyptian lifestyle, not the Israelite lifestyle. We didn't really have, we weren't keeping our laws like that back then. And it even tells you that the people, if the Most High wouldn't have came and pulled us out of Egypt, we would have completely forgot that we were even Israelites. So he came and got us. And then what did we do next? We went and gathered ourselves with the other nations as soon as we were given the laws and statutes. So we through time, now we're separated. We got the people that know the truth, that stick with the laws and statutes, and then we've got the people that are born in wickedness and go straight to sin. So that's why I'm saying this is only for the 1/3, and we know the 1/3 of us. The 1/3 knows. The 1/3 knows, and we know that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. Like, it's so easy when you're on this side of the fence to see how everything around you is wicked. Anybody justifying Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and New Year's, you guys, you're justifying wickedness, but you don't care what the truth is. You only care about finishing out that party, that feel-good moment. That's all it's about, is another feel-good moment. But you guys are all lying in wickedness, and the scriptures are proving it. Let's go. And so let's see what this was. Now, it sucks when I was gonna I'll write up these notes for a class and not know what I'm gonna say next after a couple of days. So it's kind of a surprise for me too. It's almost like I don't know what's coming next, but But let's do this real quick. Let's read John 5:19 one more time. It says, oops. This is beautiful. Okay, 1 John 5:19, one more time. And we know that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So, do you understand what's going on right now? So we go back to the peace and safety and then sudden destruction. Well, Trump literally put out, I think about 300 executive orders in a row until they literally cut him off. And then he tried to do an executive order for a stimulus check after they told him he couldn't write anymore. Oh, I'll write it now. Now I'll do it for you guys. Because I know I don't have to actually follow through with it. It's not going to happen. That executive order is not going to work, guaranteed. But it tells you that we know that these are the people of wickedness. We can see it now. It's not hidden anymore before our eyes. And the reason why we can see their wickedness starting to show through, not only has the bell been lifted, the skirt has been lifted, but the devil knoweth he have but a short time. So what does that say for you guys when we go back to the beginning of this class, when I told you if the good man knew when the thief was going to show up, he'd be waiting for him. So the devil knows that he's running out of time. You guys are the only ones that are just sitting here trying to party and keep it going. You guys are going to find out the hard way that you should have been just stick to the scriptures. But you didn't, and it's written in prophecy. So I guess kudos to you guys for doing your part in this truth also by being the 2/3. We'll see you in the kingdom after your horrific, painful death. And I feel bad that, no, I don't. I really don't, because the Most High put a spirit on you guys to be so wicked, there's nothing to feel bad about. And you want to feel bad. I want to feel bad for you, but I don't. How's that? I want to feel bad, but I don't. And, you know, and it says, the devil hath but a short time, right? So he's coming down with great wrath. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24 and 22. And accept those, in fact, let's start at 21. When he comes down with this great wrath, let's start at verse 21. Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. So that brings us into, we'll get it really quick. Why not? We bring it out all the time. Jeremiah, chapter 30, in verse 7. For alas, the day is great, so that none is like it. It is indeed the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's us. We're the descendants of Jacob. So when we're talking about Jacob's trouble and all these bad things happening, let me read that last part again for the little guys in the room. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. So the Most High is going to save us from all of these horrible things. We have trials and tribulations, but he never does anything really horrible to the children of Israel that do their best to stay in this truth. That's all there is to it. Going back to Matthew, though, back to verse 21, let's read it again. It says, for there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And that's important. So we know the devil's running out of time. He's coming in with great wrath. And now he's bringing in this great tribulation. And if it's not, I want somebody to explain to me how it's okay to literally start rounding up any Mexicans or Native Americans, which are actually Indios, means people of God when you go into the etymology. So we'll say the Indios. And we got the Indios, we've got the Issacharites or the Mexicans, and then you've got the everybody in South America pretty much. They were calling them Indios, but what did they do? It says that they came in and hundreds of years ago, they rounded all these people up and they put them into slavery. What are they doing now? The same exact thing. They're taking those same brown people that were taken a long time ago. They're rounding them all up. And especially when you're a native nation, Native American or Indios, it means that your ancestors were here for 1,000 years before Cristobal Colon ever hit Hispaniola. And then all of these other people started coming over and calling it manifest destiny to take the land. So what are they doing now? Same thing. They're saying, hey, we're taking back the land again. We're going to take all of the brown people. We're going to put them on buses and they're going to disappear. Some of them are going to go to work camps. Some of them are going to ship out of the country for show. Others were just going to drop right out of the back of a aircraft carrier into the ocean, and then they're going to float onto this exotic resort for elite rich people. But it shows that there's going to be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. You've never heard about any time in history where they dropped a couple hundred people out of an airplane just to get rid of them. Oh, we don't have any place to drop them. We'll just drop them off right here in the ocean. Can you imagine that? Because that's what they're going through. You got alligator Alcatraz plus all of the incidents with, how would you say it, sexual misconduct. Let's just say it like that. A lot of it, though. A lot of people are getting destroyed. A lot of people are never gonna. How about splitting up the families, going into Deuteronomy 28 and 32, 28 and 41, 42? All that's happening at once. So this is a time of great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. You guys got to understand about what's going on with this human trafficking. You've got to understand what they're doing. It's not just S-slaves. They like to take people down for the what is it that your body produces when you're when your adrenaline's pumping really hard? When you're in great fear, it changes the structure of certain of your blood pretty much. And I don't know how that works. Adrenochrome. That's a whole different story for a different day. But I don't know how it works, but it seems to have some kind of power to it. So let's just leave it at that. Since I don't know anything about it other than they like to do certain things, you gotta look this stuff up. So, and when you go into Deuteronomy 20 and 32, it tells you that your children are going to be taken. So they're splitting these families apart. They're dropping people out of airplanes. They're putting them in places called alligator Alcatraz. The prisons right now are suing the government because they're only at 50% capacity, and they were promised, these are private prisons, but they were promised 80% capacity. And this is a real, you can look this up, this is a real lawsuit going on right now. They need to put more people in prison for the prisons to not sue the states. Is that not crazy? So you guys got to understand, going back to the scripture when in Matthew 24 and we'll read 21 and 22 together now. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. They'll just keep doing this forever until we are literally all gone. But wait, there's more. It says that if the days don't be shortened, if the days shouldn't be, if those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. So except those days are shortened, so if we don't get out of here soon, they are going to take everybody out. That's another dead giveaway of the time and the season. And the guy sitting on his porch waiting for the thief. He's waiting out there every night right now or you should be that guy on the porch waiting outside every night, waiting. In other words, you should be the person studying every day, waiting for the return of Yahushua, because things are that bad. The next move is going to be mandatory MOTB. And some countries already have it. Some countries say that you are not a part of society unless you're digitally subscribed. And if you don't believe me, look it up. So, except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, right away, you know that there's an elect. There was chosen people. That's why I keep telling you about the 1/3 only. We're only talking about the 1/3. These days are getting shortened for our sake. And now you can go and look at anybody. You can go to any scientist right now that deals with time, and they'll tell you, yes, the days have sped up by like 1 or 2 seconds, which doesn't sound like much, but that's a lot when you think about it. It's showing little drops at a time of these prophecies actually being fulfilled. They only tell us 1 or 2 seconds. For all we know, the days have sped up by like 1 or 2 minutes. These days are flying by. They're flying by. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's go to back over to the book of 1 Thessalonians. Go to verse 5. And it reads, ye are all the children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. So when all these things happen, when I tell you, we'll be saved out of it. The days are going to be shortened for our sake. It's beautiful. So verse 6, therefore let us not sleep as the others do, but let us watch and be sober. So let us not sleep like the foolish virgins. Let us not be slack on our studies like the foolish virgins. Let us be always studying, always staying in the scriptures, always meditating on this truth. That's what that's talking about. Verse 7, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. Let me get a quick precept. Romans chapter 13. And if you guys have any questions, Abby, who's probably dead asleep now, and you don't have any questions, and if you do, you're more than welcome to ask. Or you too. Little Hanukkah. All right. So let's go to Romans chapter 13, verse 12, I think. Yeah, the night is far spent and the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of the light, the whole armor of Yahweh, right? So the night's about over. Wickedness is coming to an end, and righteousness is coming back into rulership. These are the greatest days to be alive. Like Amat Wan Abad said, people are talking about biblical times. We're living biblical times in real time. You guys are that far off. You don't realize that we're living these prophecies real time. These are biblical times that we live in. These are the most biblical times when you open up this book that we've ever lived in. Like I said, this is the best time to have ever lived This is the time right now. This is the time to be awake. This is the time to come back to the truth. So, verse 13, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. But how should we walk? Honestly. It's very serious. I mean, they got all of, it's like when they give you all of these side effects when they try to sell you a pill. It's like, it says, walk honestly, or you have to take one of these pills. Now here's all your side effects: rioting, drunkenness, chambering, wantonness, strife, envy. So either you walk honestly, or you're in all this. You're literally, it's like you're walking through thorn bushes, if you want to think about it. You're putting yourself through hell, in other words. Let's go ahead and jump back over to, let's go to 2 Corinthians. You know what? Let's go to chapter 10. You know, there was like one verse that sparked this whole class. I can't remember what, I think it was 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3, I think. Sparked this whole class. I don't know how. But 2 Corinthians chapter 4. 2 Corinthians 4, I'm just gonna have to, 2 Corinthians, I am in 2 Corinthians, yeah. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 4, but I think I need to start from the top. I'm gonna read 4. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. That's beautiful. So I'm going to start from 1 now. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but we have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty. We have just gotten rid of all of that, all of the dishonest, wicked behavior. We're tired of it as part of the hopeful elect. I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm tired of dishonest, wicked behavior, but smile in your face and then stab you in the back type people. I hate that. I've hated that my whole life. I've never been able to get down with anybody that was like that. So like I said, but we have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty. We got rid of that. Not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully. Not handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully. So you got to watch out IUIC. You got to watch out ISUPK. You got to watch out Genesis Israelites. And who is it? The Keepers of the Way. Whoever those guys are. Menachos Akbach keeps bringing videos. These guys keep going off. They keep mishandling the word of Yahweh, which means that you're handling it deceitfully, which takes you into Revelation 22, 18, and 19, taking from the word or adding to the word. To make your point, though, you're going to take yourself out of the book of life just to make a point? Doesn't make sense. But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh. But if our gospel be hid, if you don't understand this good news that I've been trying to teach for the last 10 years, it be hid from them that are lost. The Most High has you lost on purpose. He's not using you. He doesn't want you. 2/3 got to go. So now verse 4, in whom the gods, lowercase g, gods of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Those are you that are lost because the gospel's hidden from you. Why? Because your minds are already blinded. And that takes you to Mark 4 and 15. Your minds were blinded because it said that they blinded the gods of this world hath blinded your minds. So when you go into Mark 4 and 15, it says, these are they by the wayside, when the word is sown, but where the word is sown, I'm sorry, let me start over. Mark 4 and 15. And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Your heart is your mind. So he's saying that like when someone's teaching the Bible, somebody else will come in and try and lie to you and say, oh no, that's not real, that's not the truth. But that's absolutely the truth. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians now. And I was going to put this class on the streets. I wish I did. But, I am not. His thoughts are higher than my thoughts. My thoughts are down here on earth. His thoughts are up there in heaven. So, let's get them together. Watch this. So, in whom the gods of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest in the sight of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. And you know what? You know what that reminds me of? Because it says, lest the light of the glorious gospel. So it's like he's not wanting to show you the light. So you're a non-believer. He knows you're a non-believer. You've been chosen to be part of the 2/3. But it goes into that when they speak in parables. Why do you speak to them in parables? What chapter and verse in the Bible? Boom. Okay, let's get this real quick. Because that's what this completely reminds me of. And this is Matthew. Wait. There it is. Matthew 13 and 10. And the disciples came and said unto Yahushua, why speakest thou unto them in parable? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him it shall be given, and who shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, for him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parable, because they seeing see not, blinded, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which say, by hearing you shall hear and not understand, and seeing you shall see and not perceive. Now here's the point. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, which is your mind, and should be converted, and I should heal them. He's saying right there the same thing. Well, if I give them eyes to see and ears to hear and let them understand, they're going to convert. He is not dealing with this 2/3. He is just not dealing with them. Verse 16, blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So that's really important. That's really important. I'm glad I brought that out. Let's go back over to 2 Corinthians and read 4 again. So let me read that again. So like I said, it's just like Matthew 13 and 10, going and reading down. So let me read it again. In whom the God of this world, lowercase g God, hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Hearing they shall hear but not understand. Seeing they shall see but not perceive. So they won't get it. So to them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shai, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. So it's beautiful. He's making sure they stay blind. In other words, keeping that same energy that we always talk about. Let's keep going. 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of the faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. Beautiful. Keep reading. Verse 9. For Yahweh hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. That's beautiful too. Doesn't that go right into 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, I think is what it is. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Boom. 2 Corinthians, let's go to chapter 10. Still going? For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh, the pulling down of strongholds. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. Wait, was that right? Yeah. What I wanted to do is read this in the NLT real quick. So, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, NLT. We use Yahweh's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments. So, going back to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 9, it says, for Yahweh hath not appointed us to wrath. We let Yahweh take care of the wrath. That's his job, not ours. But to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Let me get another one. Let's get Isaiah 54 and 17. Oops. Where's that Isaiah? All right, Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. So the weapons of our war are spiritual, plus anything that they're trying to do, they're not going to accomplish it. That's why when I was showing you earlier, their weapons were what? The V Nation. Those are their types of weapons. We got a mass deport every day. That's their weapons, but it's not going to take away EBT. These things aren't working. People are rising up against ICE. It turns out SNAP benefits, like I said, the highest percentage is Edomites. Edomites are the ones. Oh, Lord have mercy. We down here in this house. We don't do nothing all day. Now we Lord, we don't got no food. That's their fault. So they got trapped in their own snare. But no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. So the higher percentage of Edomites when we took the V Nation, they're all the ones dropping dead. Highest percentage of people losing everything from SNAP benefits, they're losing everything. Now they are mass deporting our people and over policing the so-called black neighborhoods and lead poisoning and all these other things at once. But it's not going to prosper. They're not going to win. And everybody's starting to see what they're doing. So they're starting to show their true colors. That, like I said, that veil is being lifted. We're all able to see that you are truly the hand of wicked. Job 9:24. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the real judges. If not, where and who is he? You guys got to remember who's doing these things to you. Who's doing this stuff? Who's signing executive orders? Have you ever seen all the people standing behind Trump? You don't. They all look the same to me. They all look like Edomites to me. So, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. Every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. Their righteousness is of the servants of Yahweh. That righteousness is of Yahweh. So you guys are purely wicked. So you're really bad. And your really badness comes from the devil coming in immediately and taking away the word. And our really good comes from sticking to the word in righteousness. Let's go back to, is that it? Oh, no, let's get one more. Psalm 44. Psalm chapter 44, starting at verse 5. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. Woo! That's beautiful. That was beautiful. Psalms 44:5 says, through thee, through Yahweh, we shall push down our. So through that Holy Spirit that was given to us, we're going to spiritually take our enemies down. And if anything happens to them, it wasn't us. It's Yahweh that did it. Through thy name, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, will we tread them under that rise up against us. So when we cry out in the correct name, what happens when you use the words that are uttered in a foreign tongue? They have not the same power. So when you're going to call upon his name, and when you're going to, when through his name will we tread them under that rise up against us. So nobody's getting treaded except for no other name when you call upon them. People aren't getting treaded for calling on Jesus and God and Yahweh and Yahuwah and all these other names that you guys have made up. It's Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And when you cry out in that name, he will tread those enemies that rise up against you. He will tread them under that rise up against you. So let's keep reading. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. Those things can't do anything. I'm telling you, you can't trust in that. You have to trust. You have to have that faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Let me keep reading. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hath hated us. Those are the same people that said, in the land where they told you you are not the children of Israel, that's going to be the same land where they said that you're truly the children of God. Those are going to be the same people that he said that thou hast saved us from our enemies. Those people that are going to be admitting who we are, those are actually our enemies. And has put them to shame that hated us. They're going to be very shameful of themselves because they're going to be like, damn, we brought all the energy against them and they were really the children of God. In Yahweh we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Salah. And it's funny because Eric, you can say any name you want, but literally you're just going to be saying any name you want forever. No, it tells you that we're be calling on the right name. Bro, this is all the way back in Psalm. The new name that he's going to give us, he gave it to Moses. Okay, so let's keep going back to Thessalonians 5 and 10. I'm going to start at 9 again. For God hath not appointed us to wrath, we understand that now, but to attain salvation by our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Well, you said 2/3 have got to go. Now you're saying that everybody's living with them. Well, let's get it. Let's get it. I'm going to show you guys something. Even the wicked, if you're an Israelite, you are going to be saved. I'll show you. Romans 11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, that's Yahushua, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. See, the thing is that they're from Israel, but not of Israel. What chapter and verse? There it is. So this is, whoops. There it is. So when you, it says all Israel shall be saved, right? So when I keep telling you, well, on this side, only 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved, but the rest of the 2/3 are going to be born into righteousness they're going to be born into the kingdom through the righteous 1/3 Israelites, and that's how we're going to repopulate the place. So they'll be born into righteousness, not into a wicked state of mind. So that's how Israel's going to be saved, okay? So now when you go over to Romans 9 and 6, I'm going to prove that on this side, not all Israel shall be saved. So, I mean, all Israel will be saved, but on this side, 2/3 of you are going to have to die that horrific death and then be born into the kingdom through the righteous 1/3. So let's get it. It says in the Romans 9 and 6, not as though the word of Yahweh hath taken no effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So not all of you are going to follow in the faith and be able to be called part of that 1/3. That's all there is to it. So going back over to one more time. So as it shall, Romans 9 and 11 and 26, and so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. So when they're born back into the kingdom, all that ungodliness will be turned away from them. But let's go back over to Isaiah real quick. Let's get another precept. Isaiah chapter 54. And we're gonna we're gonna get Isaiah 54 and 59. We're gonna get Isaiah 59 starting at verse 20. Isaiah 59. Let's do that. Oh, there we go. Isaiah 59 starting at verse 20. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. What did I just tell you? So all Israel shall be saved, but it said that not all are Israel that are of Israel. So all those people that have turned from transgression, those are the ones on this side that are considered Israel. Not all are of Israel that are Israel. In other words, they're not all of the same faith. They don't believe this truth. So it tells you, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. Straight up. Straight up. So when Yahushua returns, he's going to take that 1/3. And everybody's going to die a horrific death. 21. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. That's beautiful. So for us, we're going to have the Spirit right on the tip of our tongue every time we open our mouth. That's beautiful. But let's go back over to 1 Thessalonians. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. This class I knew was kind of going to be kind of a big class. As soon as I put down the first couple precepts, like, oh, this is going to be a big one. Let's 1 Thessalonians 5 and going to verse 11. Wherefore, so now we know that the Most High is coming to he's coming to Zion and to turn transgression from Jacob. So we know he's coming to save us. So going back to verse 11, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in Yahweh, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. So, have a lot of revere a person with great respect that for the sake of the works that they're doing, because their works in this context is done in faith. I will show my faith by my works. And be at peace among yourselves. Okay, so let's go to James 2 and 18 real quick. Come on, James 2 and 18 real quick. Let's start shutting down all of these. I got too many windows open, I think. James 2 and 18 real quick. It says, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Like I said, this context that we're in is talking about the your faith. That's why you're going to revere this person. He's showing his faith through his works. Man, I don't know why I keep going out of that. Okay, so it says, esteem them very highly for their works' sake. So, like I said, in this context, you're esteeming them because of they're showing their faith through their works. So they're doing it in righteousness, in other words. This is righteous work that they're doing. All right. Let's get Isaiah. Let's go over to 14. Now we exhort you, we encourage you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. That's beautiful. Support the weak, be patient towards all men. Wait, did we forget one? Let's go. Let's see what it says. I missed a precept. That's all right. So let's go back Let me read that again. I was just seeing what precept I skipped over, which really, it wasn't a big deal. I'm not even going to have to bring it out. So First Thessalonians 5:14 again. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. Warn them that are unruly. So let's get that right away. That's going to go into Leviticus. I think it's Leviticus 19 and 17. Oops. Come on now. Okay, so let's read it again. It says, verse 14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. So let's go over to Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Rebuke means to correct. That warning and correction are pretty much the same thing when it comes down to it. Hey, bro, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm warning you. You shouldn't be doing that. Or, hey, bro, you got to stop that right now. I'm trying to put correction on you. That's what that's talking about. So, it says, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, and that's support the weak, be patient towards all men. Okay? Proverbs 14 and 29. We're almost done here. I'm running out of precepts. And I gotta admit, you guys haven't heard a peep. I've got 3 young children sitting right here listening to this whole class right now, and they haven't made even so much as a peep. So Proverbs 14 and 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. I don't know why I put that in there. Let's go to Proverbs 15 and 1. But anybody that's slow to anger, quick to forgive, but also it said, don't hate your brother in your heart. So when you think about it, if you have true love for your brother, you won't have that wrath, and you'll be more people will understand you better. You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So that man that holds back his wrath is of great understanding, and he'll be able to actually, that's why it says he'll be able to rebuke his brother, which means to correct. And he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. And we all know that folly is no good. So going back over to Proverbs, we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 51. Actually, I'm sorry, Proverbs chapter 15 and 1. And it reads, a soft answer turneth away wrath. So when you're rebuking your brother, it doesn't mean like, hey, brother, you got to stop this right now, my brother this, brother that. That's not what it's talking about. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So you got to humble your spirit, like it says. You got to be humble in spirit. You've got to exhort. You've got to encourage your brother when you're telling him something's not right. You've got to encourage him in the truth, not tear him down. Don't ever call me again. Don't ever talk to any of us again. That's a horrible spirit. That is a horrible, when you think about it, don't call me. Don't talk to us. You're not allowed to hang out with us because I feel some kind of way about you that I have no proof over. I'm just making things up. And people do that. So you got to watch out. So, it's better to have a soft answer and turn away wrath than to be grievous with your words and stir up anger, then now we could have all been at the end of a situation that anybody's in. Everybody could have been like, okay, all right, man, I you know what, you really handled that well. But instead, you just let your tongue fall all over the place, and now everybody's pissed off. In fact, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. So the word fool, what does the word fool mean, folks? It means the mouth of the stupid poureth out stupidness. And the eyes of the Lord in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Just remember that. So a lot of good people make bad mistakes, though, and a lot of evil people are just wicked, no matter what. So let's go back over to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We're almost done. Verse 15. See that none render evil for evil to any man. And I already showed you guys that with Proverbs. 14 and 29 and 15 and 1. So that's where that comes from. See that none rendereth evil for evil. In other words, have soft answers. Try to to bring down the anger levels. Don't be grievous to people. And what was it? And it said, have patience. That's what I wanted. That's the word I was looking for. Have patience with people. That's what it means by slow to anger. Okay? So, see that none of you render evil for evil. Somebody's mad, be slow to anger, have patience, have a soft answer. These are your brothers you're dealing with. But ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Okay? Rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach concerning you. So in everything, even whether it's good or bad, I will praise you in my captivity. Doesn't it say that in Baruch 3 and 7? We will call upon thy name and praise you in our captivity. So in all things, let's get it real quick. Why not? Let's read it. Let's not hold out on any scriptures. I didn't get to go out this weekend or last weekend, and it's starting to really weigh heavy on my spirit. So let's get it. Baruch 3 and 7. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity, that we should call to mind all the iniquity of our fathers that sinned before thee. So even in our captivity, we should be praising thee. So in everything, give thanks. Praise, even in this captivity, when times are rough, you should really be thankful. Because when times are good, it's pretty easy. It's easy to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful when times are rough, going through those trials and tribulations. You got all these brick walls and thorn bushes in front of you, and you have to figure a way out around it just to finish the day. We have that. Everybody, nobody's oppression is out of the ordinary. We're all being oppressed the same way. So in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach concerning you. Quench not the spirit, and despise not prophesying. So most high willing, the things that I tell you are also prophecy. Most high willing, I'm saying it in righteousness to the people. Like, I know I'm in my own heart, but through the eyes of the Most High, he knows who I really am. So I pray that he sees that everything I do is in a humble spirit. So I despise not prophesying. I pray that the prophecies I share with you guys, you can understand what I'm explaining to you. Verse 21, prove all things. Hold fast to that which is good. And when we do speak on prophecy, don't we come right to the scriptures and show you in the scripture what we're talking about and where it's at, what chapter, what verse? We'll show you the time frame of them, tell you how it's perpetual, how it's going to happen again, how things are happening right now that are written. So prove all things. in time, all these things are going to come to pass, and it's all going to be proven. Abstain from all appearance of evil. Did you guys get that? Abstain from all appearance of evil. So if you know somebody's a wicked person, or it's a wicked place, or it's anything to do with wickedness, you gotta let it go. You gotta get away from it. Let's get a precept. 2 Thessalonians. We've been in 1 Thessalonians this whole time. We're gonna get a 2 Thessalonians 3 and 6. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that you withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. You got that? So, it says, abstain from all evil appearance. Okay, so let me read it again. So abstain from all evil appearance. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that you withdraw. That's abstaining right there. Withdraw yourselves. Keep away from every brother that walketh disorderly. Okay, disorderly conduct. And not after the tradition which he received of us. And let me get 7 too. For yourselves know how you ought to follow us, for we behaved not ourselves disorderly among you. So we're saying, we're a good example over here. We're not behaving disorderly in front of you. We're not going off on the truth. We're not going off in drunkenness. We're not asking for money. You don't see a cash app anywhere on anything. I've been monetized for 2 years. I can go live and all that. I just don't, because really I'm just here to teach the Bible. I'm trying to keep it basic. I'm not trying to get into all that. We command you, brethren, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that you stay away from the other brothers that walk disorderly like that aren't telling the truth. They're telling you everybody can be saved. They have a super thanks, a Cash App, a GoFundMe, a PayPal, I don't know, whatever else you guys got. Whatever else you guys are however else you're trying to get money. We're never going to take anything for the works of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He would have to force it on us, because that isn't ours, it's his. And to ask people for something for your works, when James 1 and 5 clearly says that if you cleave unto him and depart not well, it will be given to you liberally, that's for free. So just remember that. Withdraw yourselves from those people that are like that. Let's get 1 Timothy real quick. Chapter 6, starting at verse 3. This is beautiful. If any man teach otherwise than what the real truth is. Let me just start at verse 1. 1 Timothy chapter 6, starting from 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Yahweh is, and his doctrine be not blasphemed. So what do? The people that I learned from, I give them double honors every time I open a class. That's all there is to it. I'm not even in GMS. I'm not even in that camp, but I still give double honors to the elders that I've been learning from. So, verse 2, and they that have believing masters, let them not despise them because they are brethren, but rather do them service because they are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. The word exhort means to encourage. So teach people and encourage them with these things. If any man teach otherwise and consent not to the wholesome words, even the words of Yahushua HaMashiach to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, dotting about questions and strifes of words, wherefore cometh envy, strife, railings, and evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men and corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth. There it is right there. Destitute of the truth. Supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. But godliness with contentment is great gain. So everybody I just talked about there, it's all Cash App, right? It's all about money. So if everybody I've talked about is all about money, and it's telling you right here to that if they're not consenting to wholesome words, then that means their doctrine is proud, knowing nothing, and they have questions and strifes of words, and then they have perverse disputings of men's corrupt minds, like telling you everybody can be saved. They just have so much stuff. Ain't no microchip. Jacob's trouble has already happened and it's over. I'm like, where do you guys get this stuff? All of these things is what it's supposing that gain is godliness. Every time I look at my drip, or every time I step out the house, I hop into something crazy. Look at all my chains I got like Alizar. You guys are all crazy. Because verse 7 says, we brought nothing into this world, and and it is certain we can carry nothing out. So it literally says that in the next verse. You brought nothing into this world. You can't take nothing out of this world, but you're bragging about the shit that you have. That's crazy. You definitely have a corrupt mind because you suppose that gain is godliness. From such, withdraw thyself. Let's close out. I think I've gone long enough. I actually ran out of precepts, so let's go right to the book of Revelation, chapter 22. Oops, close that. All right. Oh my gosh. Going to Revelation, chapter 22. And we're going to close out with how we always close out. Revelation 22 and 12. This is Yahushua speaking. I don't know if you guys ever knew that. I always bring out Revelation 22 and 12, but I never mention that it's actually Yahushua speaking. Let's read it. And behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So what your works in this world, what you're doing now, what the government's doing, they're doing their job because they're going to be judged in the end. Remember, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So, and remember what I was telling you about the adding to the word and taking away from the word also. Verses 18 and 19. I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things that are written in this book. So I want you guys to remember that when you're changing the word and you're saying that everybody can be saved or through peace, and then you want to destroy us, everybody that's doing something against us, that's changing this book for their own narrative to prove their own point, to justify their life. All these people are using it. Everybody is. Well, those people are going to be taken out of the book of life. And for all of you Edomites and other nations, you are never written in the book of life to begin with. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this message. 11:44 right now. Shalom.